going to be, hey, I can try my new things there. So today we're going to be going back and working on the manifest thing again, the metadata schema. So we've done a bunch of stuff with the k8sapp, and we're now going to start making some choices about how to put stuff in there. Specifically, so here's the k8sapp management conventions. We have, this is all written up. And then we have an example file here. And this is the example of the manifest, so we need to write this up. So there's one master GitHub repo that has like all the stuff in it, and then there's the manifest itself. Application, Kubernetes applications, manifest schema. I don't know if we're going to have both of them at the same time. Oh, this is the README file. Yeah. This is the README file that we created in k8sapps as a sample. So k8sapps is a place where we're going to go make the list and everything. And then we need to figure out what's going to be in the schema. This is, again, the goal here for the next 2 hours is to figure out what information to keep track of for all the applications that we maintain in the cluster in a way that can make it easy as a maintainer and as a business to keep track of it all. And it's because there's nothing right now. There's nothing. Kubernetes application in the cluster. It follows its conventions. k8sapp. Yesterday this led us down a rabbit hole of getting k8sapp.is, which became a huge fiasco. And I'm never doing that again, but I'll get another domain at some point. Because we want to be able to point to it. So what goes in the schema? Honestly, I think the only thing that's needed is a top-level table pointing to the different files. I really think that's all. I don't even know that we need it to be YAML. I think we just need like a list, I think it really just needs to be a manifest file. So for example, it could be something as simple as, we list it by name. So NFD would be the short name. And then we list the actual URL where the Git repo is. I think we should probably use the URL, the HTTP version of the repo, because I just don't feel like it's a good idea to do otherwise. I don't know that we even need to put HTTPS in there though, because we can kind of infer that. I know, is there ever a time when we would need it to not be that? So github.com remix rob /k8sapp -nfd. Right, and again, these can be discovered because if we're following the convention with some sort of standard prefix ahead of it all, we could do that. And I have the Jupyter Hub. JHub is in JHub. And yeah, I think that's the way to do this. The reason for this is because, first of all, we are throwing out some stuff from Helm. For example, Helm says just use a directory. We don't care. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that every single application has its own Git repo. The fact that the Helm project discarded Git as a dependency and tried to just make a bunch of tarballs and directories, I think that's a huge architectural fail. Because that all of a sudden you're not using the world's best software management tool to do software management. You're doing something else. So no, we're going to embrace Git for this. In fact, I want to put that in the k8sapp kind of thing. It's hard because I don't want to maintain it in two places. I have it as a Zet, and then I also have it as a document, k8sapp. So, nope, that's not it. Let's do Kubernetes, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. I think it needs to be a bunch of sets together, and then we need to bring them together. I gotta write something really quickly about that while I'm thinking about it though. Set create Kate's app embraces Git. Does instead of shunning it. One of the most annoying and frankly stupid design decisions of Helm is discarding the world's best source management utility and replacing it with tarballs. This is the source of much confusion and extra work when people realize they still need a way to track all their personal or their customizations and forks to inadequate templates. Had the Helm project had the foresight to keep all charts as repos, this would all go away. We could just fork a chart and make our changes and ensure upstream changes are made over time. This is a tried and true process used by all applications development for over a decade. Undoing what Helm has broken means we have to flatten Helm charts into their default component Kubernetes resources. Thanks, Heavy Drinker. Helm charts into their default Kubernetes resource files and put them into a Git repo. Those that don't do this learn quickly how broken the entire Helm ecosystem is. Kate's apps. Kate's app undoes what Helm has broken by flattening Helm charts into default Kubernetes. Hugh, hey, how's it going? I'm pretty good. by flattening into their default Kubernetes resource YAML files and putting them into Git repos for proper management. All right, that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to do related. I'm going to do zlink k8sapp. There we go. Kubernetes applications management. Helm procedure manifest schema. Senior software engineer. Oh God. I would, why not? Honestly, seriously, something with. I mean, I like being around people too. I used to be a grocery clerk, and I loved it as a kid. Helm. All right, so out of hours. Yeah, if you're a software engineer, that's why I tell people not to go into software development. I'm telling you, software engineers get shit on all the time. Operations people get less shit than developers. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's definitely true. All right, so let's do this. Post last. I just wanted to capture that thought before I lost it. I can't believe how stupid that Helm chart project is for dropping Git. So stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. You know why? Because they keep trying to think that it's not an applications development system. It is. It's not a build system. It is. Don't try to deny it. Try to Git repo for each app. Use a consistent repo prefix. Use a consistent prefix. Provide a detailed README. I think we need to provide metadata as well. Provide a metadata file. k8sapp.yaml. I mean, this is a standard. It's not a tool. Keep a vendor copy of the original application. .8. And we need index.yaml. Do I like Kubernetes? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Helm at all. 12-factor apps, I know about 12-factor apps. Yep. Document the following procedures as blah blah and readme. Fetch, acquire. I'm actually a heavy drinker. You might not know, but I'm a Kubernetes administrator, so I'm at work right now doing this stuff. We're trying to make sense of all our applications. The following procedures. Add a related section with relating reading. Maintain manifest of all installed applications in its own repo. Maintain manifest. Yep. Okay. So that is pretty much it. In own repo, provide a get repo for each app. Application, I guess. It's not really an app. That's not like a smartphone app or something. And a supermarket. I feel like that sometimes. I have been super depressed this last week because of all this shit. There's no rhyme or reason to this, and so to a lot of it, and it kind of wears on me because I get tired of it. I get tired of having negative thoughts about how horrible it is. It's the reason I got out of back-end web. It's the reason I got out of front-end web development when they went all nuts with XHTML and shit. I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. The whole entire industry thought DHTML and XHTML were a good idea. And there was like a lone tiny percentage of people that like, this is absolute bullshit. And I was one of them, and I left. I couldn't do it. And then the whole industry woke up, and now everybody laughs about it. They look back at it as laughing. But the entire fucking industry went insane. And if you went against it, you were like an idiot heretic. And the whole thing died. It all died. It's a big fucking joke now. And I left because I couldn't take it because I was getting laughed at. And guess what? I was right. I had to say it. I was fucking right the whole time. The whole fucking time I was right. It was a clusterfuck. And I got out of it. I was so tired of like fighting against it. And I'm having that same kind of feeling right now with Kubernetes applications. XHTML. There's a bunch of them. There's SOAP and XHTML. I mean, it was all kind of stepping stones to the stuff that I ended up coming up with. And XML by itself is not completely evil. It just XHTML and DHTML were a fucking disaster. And it took big, huge companies to shame W3C into submission and say, no, we're going to do W3 working group. You can go fuck off. And then they did their whole thing, shamed them into submission, and finally they've kumbaya'd and they're working again as of about 2 years ago. But, you know, a few lone dissenters like screaming from the top of their lungs about how stupid this is wasn't enough to get anybody to look at it. Just like CoffeeScript. The entire web industry went fucking insane over CoffeeScript too for a full fucking year and a half. And then everybody's like, no, this is stupid. This is idiotic. And a couple people blogged about it that were super influential in the industry, and the whole industry put the brakes on it and said, oh, you're funny. You use CoffeeScript. This industry is so fucking fickle and stupid that it just can really wear on your soul. You're trained by the best scrapers on deck. Yeah. The part I'm trying to tell you is that this, if you care about the IT industry and you get into it like this, it will start to grate on your soul, and you have to find a way to get around that. Otherwise, you're going to get really depressed. Because in many things you will be correct. A lot of times you'll be wrong, but a lot of times you're going to be really correct on something. You're going to know it's the right way to go, and it's not going to matter because the collective idiocy is going to run right off the cliff, and you either have to decide I am not running off that fucking cliff or not. To not engage. Yeah. So it's like, but then not engaging in IT means not having a job. So then you have to pick your battles. You know what I mean? And that gets really exhausting. It's frustrating. It makes me depressed. I cannot believe, so I'm the new guy coming into Kubernetes, and I cannot believe what a shitstorm all of this applications management stuff is. They have not figured this shit out. The whole industry hasn't figured this out. And they're collectively putting their weight behind dumbass things, and a few dissenters are out there, influential dissenters, thank God. So they might be able to bring it around. But meanwhile, I'm totally terrified of my team meeting because I'm going to have to go against what people have heard is the thing to do. I'm going to tell them, no, actually, we should just get rid of it all, Helm, and just use resource files. And I'm really worried about that, actually, because that is not even, somebody could point at this. They could point at this. The certification for CCAT, and how you have to learn about Helm. You do have to learn some stuff about Helm, but for me to go against the entire thing and say, actually, nobody that I care about, that respect, except for one person, uses Helm. There's one person that uses Helm, and I really almost made a decision to use Helm for everything based on that. But all of the other people that I've talked to, really influential people, don't use it. They flatten it and get the fuck away from it as fast as they can. It's I don't know. But you, heavy drinker, you just you brought up the stuff, right? So this is, you can kind of go bury your head in the sand over here where there's a thing that you can do that is okay, but and then you cannot get your value out of IT. But I mean, I still believe in IT industry and working in it and stuff. But yeah. Each k8sapp repo should contain a kubernetes.yaml containing the metadata to be combined. All right, so what is going to be in the schema? So let's actually try this. So that means in here we would need to have k8sapp YAML. What should we say about Jupyter Hub? We can say, this is where we can actually steal ideas from the chart, because the one thing the Helm charts got right was this idea. Super. We have an app on some Android OSs that helps immensely. Nice. How do you list a single item from a tarball? How do I list a single item from a tar? I know there's a way to do it. I just don't remember. I think it's not just grep either. I haven't done this in a long time. ZTVF. Path to file. Extract file. No anchor to pick. Yep, let's do that. So we're going to do tar xvf Helm. Actually, I need a Z in there. Jupyter Hub. We want chart.yaml. Bullshit. Oh, I know why, because it's in Jupyter Hub. Yeah. All right. So, wow, that worked. That was easy. Well, or was it? Where is it? It didn't extract it. I don't see it. Wait. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Jupyter Hub. Oh, it did it. It did the whole thing. Yeah. I gotcha. I gotcha. So what does this thing have in it? You know what? Let's actually cheat. Let's copy. Yep. CRT terminal. Did you like it? It's pretty funny, huh? I love it. We'll get rid of all these annotations. Fuck the annotations. API version can fuck off. Description. Name. JHub. Multi-user Jupyter Hub installation. Multi-user. Jupyter Hub for Kubernetes. Jupyter Hub for Kubernetes with user namespaces. So this is, yeah. Home. No. I mean, I guess we could say origin, right? Yeah. We'll say, yeah, I think origin is good. Icon? Why do we give a shit about an icon? We don't care about an icon. Keywords. No, we don't need. Do we need keywords? No, we don't need them. We don't need them. Cube version. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think we might need that actually. Yep. I think we might need that. So we can steal some of the ideas from Helm. There's no law against it. We can use those ideas. Maintainers, I think that's important to have that. Uh-huh. I think that we should do, yeah. And then URL, if we have a URL, I guess I don't have a URL, but yeah. I mean, let's do RDBX, let's do GitHub. Yep. Get rid of the name. Now, here's the problem. So there's like the short name. I think we should have the name. And then we should have a short name. But I don't know. No. We need the name. I think the name needs to be in a namespace. You know what I mean? And like, what if we have it so? I mean, what if people wanted to do this for all their apps? How would they do that? They'd have to have, the name would have to be qualified, you know? So yeah. I think we need to qualified. I think we have a short name, and then we have a full name. So, yeah, I think it needs to be qualified. I think we need to have RWX Rob / JupyterHub. And the RWX Rob is the Git repo name. And if somebody wants to put an additional domain in front of that, they can, but I think we need to have that. And that's pretty common in the namespace to do that. Maintainers. RWX Rob, yeah. I mean, we actually, we need, no, we need the origin, but we need the source. Yeah. GPS, github.com. k8sapp. This is like the return reference. JHub. And let's see, github.com, RWX Rob, source origin. I think we should have an origin to see like where was it, who was the original maintainers kind of thing. Oh, source says. Yeah, I think we should probably have source says. No. We just want one source. Yep. We just want one source. We don't want more than one source. Not for this. So that's like the primary source. Actually, no, we should call this a repo. This should be repo because everything has to have a repo. In this system, everything has to have a repo. So yeah. Sources would be kind of like, where did it come from? You know, we put that down with origin. And what version is it? This is interesting because this is like, what version of your version? You know, it's like, I think we need, I think we need an origin. I think the origin actually needs properties. I think the origin needs to have a name. URL. I think the origin sources should be here. I think that's fine. The origin URL, we can have the origin version. I don't think we need any more information about the origin. I mean, if it's derived for something. I mean, it's not really parent. It's kind of like origin, right? The Q version, I think that's important. The repo, everybody's got a repo description. And we could put like with OAuth and user namespace support. This could be a kind of a full description. Yeah, let's do that. I want to be able to write like, I don't want the description to be like a one-line thing. I think I kind of feel like we could have a title and then it is a summary, a description. Description. If we want one, we could have a description on there. I'm going pretty fast with this because I want to be done. So, I mean, this is the full name with namespace, which you could actually fully qualify even more. Kind of a containerized thing. The short name. Yeah, YAML is nicer than XML. Yeah, indeed. People complain about YAML though too all the time. I'm like, it's not that bad. Yep. So I almost don't know if we should put a description here, if we should put that in the README. I think the README should be where all people focus on the description and stuff like that. The repo, I think going to the repo, they know there's going to be a README there. So the repo should have a README in it. Yep. So I feel okay with that. Version. We need to have our own version. I don't know if we need to put a version here though. I kind of feel like we should use get for the version. You know? Yeah, actually, I'm glad we thought of that because I can put that. I have to put that back in the. We have to put that in this in the standard. Yep. Tag. Tag each version using semvar versioning v 0.1.1. The reason for that is because I still want people to be able to see if they have the latest. Subversion. I remember I did CVS and Subversion. Yep. I did. I put those. I installed those at IBM when I was there. Brought them into the team. Nobody even knew what source management was. They were all operations people. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think tagging is important. I think we need to do that. If we use Semver, we can actually do the rest. Anyway, maintainers. Anything else should go in the README, I think. The title is like a one-liner. It needs to be less than, so we need to write a schema for this. So, yeah. All right. Wait, say the run AI meeting? I think it is. Yep. All right. So, that's it. I think we can change the schema as we want to. I don't think we need to version the schema at all. I don't. It's one of the things where we can just detect whether it's there or not and be fine with it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy. We could put that in the jhub.yaml file. Yep. We could. Jupyter Hub. That's the steps I use to add a Helm chart. I don't know if we need that in here though. Create NS Hub, get PO. All right, so add k8sapp. Yep. Is ahead. What?
Do you want decaf?
If you still have some.
Yeah. I wouldn't offer it if I didn't have it.
Well, I don't know.
Do you want me to add
I thought you were
this?
going to make more. No. What are you doing? You're so nice to me. My wife is very nice to me this morning. Gets really good though. It's got quirks and weirdness and it's overly complex, but it's fine. All right, so let's do. Thank you, my love. My love. Hey, is there a new Outlander?
Oh, I haven't checked it now. I was just looking at houses up in the mountains.
Please do that more.
So in our price range.
Will you please do that more?
So businesses.
Huh?
So in our price range.
Because you're gonna get tired of that. I can already tell you're gonna get tired of that shop with its one outlet. Indentation languages. I hate them. I used to be kind of okay with it. Now I fucking hate it. I hate it. If you wanna get a real fun laugh, go search for adding anonymous multi-line anonymous functions to Python. There's an entire thread. It's been archived between Guido van Rossum and all the gang trying to add multi-line anonymous functions to Python. And ultimately, they threw their hands in the air and said they couldn't do it because of significant white space. And it's really hilarious because they're like going into it all bright-eyed and like, hey, we'll figure this out, you know? And by the end, they're like, oh, shit, we made significant white space. We can't do this. And I was like, you think? It's so wonderful. I have to find that link. I have to find the link to that whole tirade because it's just, you don't have to even say anything. You just have to tell people, go read this. If you want to know why Python sucks, go read this. One of the reasons. I mean, Python's good for some things, but nothing significant, you know. But people use it for all kinds of stuff right now. And because it's fast to write, but so is Go and so is Bash. All right, so I think we have our schema. I think I've got it here. So we just need to git push. And so yeah, of course I was a big Perl guy too. There's always going to be times when you're going to want to put things on one line. You can't do, yeah. But the language is so verbose anyway. It's designed to be verbose because it's clear to read and everything. But that makes it really a pain in the ass to use for anything significant. You read a bit of Python. I'm okay with Python in general for what they're using it for. What I don't like is when you actually have to write a lot of Python and you have to like copy and paste between files and stuff, and there's no way you can tell where your indentation is because your syntax highlighters have to be smart enough to do matched indentation, which they can do, but it's a pain in the ass. You can't use the Unix filtered approach. CPAM Powerhouse, yeah, me too. But that stuff's out of popularity now. It doesn't matter. Commit. Add k8sapp.yaml file. Git push. All right, so I think we kind of have it. So I have to just document that schema. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have something to say? You're on live, but I'm just letting you know.
I have the new copy of Outlander in my Kindle.
You do?
Approximate reading time 19 hours. 'Cause
Well, you're not going to get any work done over Thanksgiving.
No, I have to. I'm gonna save it for as a reward for when.
That's a reward.
When I finish.
Nice.
My mural
Your mural's not going to be done for. Okay. I don't think you're going to make it.
I'm very excited that I have it.
I know. I am excited for you. Merry Christmas.
Because I'll just be gone.
Merry Christmas. It's awesome. My wife is a voracious reader. Voracious. She'll start reading that thing. It'll be done in like 2 days. She's insanely. She's got the whole librarian thing going on too. She's crazy. So I think this is fine. We just have to document it now. So let's use this as our example, and we're on good time here. All right. Wait, what? Okay, here we go. Manifest. Okay, so full name. Insane ladies. Computer blokes attract. They really do. I think so. Not just solving puzzles. Did you find it? Reading the multi-line lounge. Did you actually find it, Lucenti? Challenge accepted. It's one of them. Yeah, I think this is it. No, I never got into Lisp. I could, though. I haven't. Yeah. That's a great link, Lucenti. I got to save that link. I got to save it. All right. Full name. So, I mean, full name. What is the full name? We kind of need an example. Long name, unique long name within the scope of a given Git repo collection or service. Example would be /Jupyter Hub. And then we can do short name. Convenient short for referencing easily within local contexts. We should probably put some limitations on the naming and stuff, but may contain qualifiers like image references. Container image references. For the local context, and usually, and corresponding to the Git repo name after the prefix. So k8sapp -jhub goes to jhub. All right. What else we got? Related. Title. We need to put this under 52 characters. Unicode. Lists of k8sapps. Last of the Twitch bot. Somebody already did it. That might be fun. Yep. 70s AI for the win. Yes. Why not? Why not? I mean, come on. Why not? Full name, short name, title. Full name, short name, title. I don't know why 52 is the number. No, it's 50. I know why, because that will list, well, probably not a real reason to do it. I mean, you should be able to title your thing in under 50 characters. How many characters have we got here? I want to put constraints here because I don't want, hey, how's it going? So WC. So that's 61 characters. 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52. How about 70? Because what, 72 column thing? How about under 70? 72 is supposed to be how much? Okay. Uh, uh, descriptive characters or less. We're not going to do summary. I'm going to put that there and say, I'm going to make a question here. It's going to be like, why no summary or description? These should best be placed in the required NMD file within the required Git repo. Since markdown is much, I'm going to put comma mark, is much more expressive. Unicode rocks. It really does. And it was invented by Pike. That wasn't invented, but it was solidified by Pike and the gang. Same people made Go. Title, repo, HTTP URL pointing to the Git repo. I don't want to say that. Let's say, let's see, Git friendly reference to any Git repo to the required home source Git repo. That's right. We require Git. Other people might not. We do. And it can be usually HTTP. All right. So Cube version. I feel like we should have Cube version because people are going to want to see. And you may do things to, the reason I think Cube version needs to pull out of the Helm chart is because you may do things to your fork or extension of the original application source that makes your version, your stuff require a different version. So I believe that that's kind of mandatory. So let's do that. Let's put that up here. Cube version. What time is it? I got time? Yeah, I got an hour left. Nice. Kubernetes version of origin required by origin and local configurations. It uses the same syntax. I don't actually know. Let's go check. Helm Cube version. Let's go read about it. Oh, I didn't spell it right, but well. The Cube version in the chart doc should be documented more. You think? So many fucking issues on Helm. There is. It's so fucking bad. It's bad. It's horrible. I'm not even shy saying so anymore. To learn new things about it, it's really awesome. Unicode is awesome. And Go actually has Unicode awareness built into all of its range loops and everything. So when you're looping over a string, when you're ranging over a string, you're ranging over Unicode characters by default. Instead of like in C, it'd be broken unless you used a special library because it would just go over by 1 bytes. Because Unicode has variable byte width. It's just brilliant. That's why the language is so fucking amazing. Other languages have it, but it had it from the very beginning. I don't know if Java did it. I'm not sure Java did it. Well, it depends on which way of ranging over a string you're talking about. There's like 5 or 6 different ways in Java, right? Q version in the chart. I don't think Unicode was out when Java came out, so I don't think it did. Q version is the chart.yaml docs should be documented more thoroughly. I mean, it's one thing to support the strings themselves that have Unicode characters in them. It's one thing to support Unicode strings. It's a completely different thing to make all of your internal constructs for looping over them and ranging over them also aware of Unicode. I don't think Java did that. Yeah. So key version in a chart should be documented more thoroughly. No shit. And then they closed it. They didn't even do anything. They didn't even write anything about it. Sure, yeah. The shower's long gone. It really is. The chart.yaml docs mention key version property from the documentation is not clear what this field is used for, except that it can be accessed from the capabilities object. Crashed. Oh, God. That's insane. Yeah. Unzip crashed on an umlaut. It should be made clear what a semver range is, since this is not specified in the spec in the semver spec, as far as I know. It would be nice if a section on the Cube version field could be added. Yet another reason not to use Helm, explaining what it is used, like the app version field. If I would know what the field does, I would be happy to create a PR improving the docs. The text was updated successfully, but the errors were encountered. Oh my God. PRs are welcome. For reference, Q version is the version of Kubernetes such as... No, that doesn't fucking help, you idiot. They're asking what's up with the ranges. This is some dumbass that didn't even read the thing before they made a comment. So these would be great documentation PR. Yes. Most coders are nice people. Yes. Successfully merged a pull request. You can't perform this action this time. That's it. So somebody actually did something. No. Helm charts and Kubernetes index. Okay, God damn. This is just getting me frustrated. Remember I told you? Yeah. Yep. Let me spell it right. Helm. How do I get capability? Q version platform. GitHub Helm issue. Helm package manager. What is Helm? The Kubernetes package manager. Yeah, you wish, you piece of shit. I'm going to go on a ranting tirade against Helm for the rest of my career. It's such shit. How to install Helm 3 and configure on Kubernetes. In Helm 2, there was a Helm component called the tiller, which got removed because we got shamed it out of existence because it was so fucking insecure. Helm specification. Helm charts serve as a packaging format. Chart is a collection of files, blah. Helm charts display. No. Summer comparison. Somebody has no idea what that summer version is because it's not been documented. What a surprise. I have this key version of some new error. Error while unmarshalling. It's not an unmarshalling Boolean into Go value. It tried to make it a Go. Oh my God. The level of Go coding in the Helm project is so fucking bad. It's so bad. Oh my God. It's just so bad. It's pathetic. All the null pointer blow ups. It's just so fucking bad. You specify release version range greater than 1.10.1. I don't know anything about Kubernetes Helm, but I suspect your tool is not configured to allow pre-releases. You think? To allow pre-releases, at least the Helm, the constraint suffix needs to be -0. For example, blah. That doesn't help. Shit, this is so bad. Nobody can even fucking document it. Oh my God. This is like so bad. It should be ported to Rust. No null pointers. No, there's like a million other things wrong with Rust besides the null pointers. Just to be clear, you can do a null pointer in Rust. People do it all the time. Go read the Linux thread where they tried to do it and they blew the fuck up. They blew everything up. With seg faults and shit. Yeah. People keep saying Rust is safe and has no pointers. It doesn't blow up like that. It actually does. It's actually on file, and Linus Torvalds is actually calling him out for it. And they said, "Oh, that was just because of testing." Like, okay, yeah, the C thing, yeah. So keep using Helm. No, keep everyone. There's no way to do this. Capabilities. So here's yet another issue on this. There's like, so far we found 4 issues on this one thing and not a single solution. When it comes to root context debugging to YAML, I see blah. Helm version. Recurrent template validate. Oh, I'm pretty jaded. Template fixes data. It's supposed to report the version of Kubernetes that is compiled for. Capability fakes all of this. Anything. Look at this. Helm template always fakes its data to the following categories. Anything the users discover. I don't really have strong feelings either way whether we should merge the data, but this is documented feature of Helm. That's a feature? Yeah. One case beyond just reinforcing this is fake to data would be allowing charts to detect and react to being rendered as part of a template. Oh my fucking God. This is so fucking bad. Oh my God. This project is full of idiots. Like real huge, monumental fucking idiots. So I don't want anything to do. I cannot get off of it fast enough. I just can't. I'm trying to sort of be nice, but not really. I can't. We need to have a cube version thing, but I don't want to have it to be anything like the Helm one. So I think. I mean, I don't even know that people could do that, because what happens if a new version comes out and they don't test it? I think instead of having a cube version greater than something, I think it's probably, I'm glad we rethinking this. I think it's probably better to say this has been tested and works with the following versions, like by number. I think we need to do that. I think we need to have it say exactly what versions it's been tested under, because you know what? You don't ever know. Somebody can say it's compatible with anything over 1.2.1, and then they change something in 1.2.2 and it breaks it. So saying it's compatible with everything above that is impossible, because you're not a fucking prophet. Yeah. This is stupid. I'm not doing this. We do need to say tested versions. Tested cube versions. I mean, that's a big old thing, but I'm going to put it there. I want to see, you know what? Not even versions. We need some way to version our infrastructure, all of it. You know what I mean? It's like we want to be able to version. We're going to say, okay, this version of Kubernetes with this sort of thing installed as well. I'm removing all references to testing. I am removing all references to that, and I'm going to put a note in here, because we did catch a problem. And I'm going to answer this question here, because somebody's going to ask, why no cube version? The cube version in Helm is disastrously broken. To the point of being dangerous. the reason, in addition, any indication of a k8sapp being usable by a specific version or greater is simply a lie, since there is no way anyone can know if the app will indeed be compatible with future versions. Kubernetes, moreover, the Kubernetes version is but one consideration. So several k8sapps will have dependencies on specific versions of other applications. And that actually needs to be captured. This complexity is best communicated and managed in the in the README MD file itself, and should never be automated. I mean, I don't think we can automate it, because how can you? I mean, we could do that, but I don't want to add that. We could say, I don't know about this. I don't know if we want to do this. We could say, we could give this a version. But the version, I think the version should come from Git. Yeah. I'm going to put, no, we're not going to add yet another thing. Oh, hey. Hi, Ladero. Thank you for the sub again. Okay, so I'm wondering if we could actually do a dependency list. I mean, this is information we are eventually going to need to capture. I don't want this to bloom out of control, though. You know what I mean? I also don't know if I want to put version here. I mean, it seems like it belongs here, though. I think we need to. Okay. Title version. So server of this k8sapp not its origin. Also tag git tag also required. So I do want people to have the git tag match. This is tricky because it's very easy for somebody to change the version and tag it incorrectly in Git. But in order to pull down a specific version, you have to use Git tagging. I should probably put a warning. I think we need that. Yeah. So, one of the conversions being usable by a specific version or greater is simply a lie, since there's no way as there is no way to guarantee future compatibility. It's just stupid. I can't believe they actually did that. It's like, it means you must at least have this version. Well, how do you know it's going to be? This version is but one consideration. So, okay, so we'll, some k8sapps may have dependencies on specific versions of other installed applications. This is where things get really crazy, because, it's like, I don't know. I feel like this could go out of control really fast, because you could argue that all of the stuff in the system has dependencies on other stuff in the system, right? But as soon as you start trying to track all those dependencies by hand, you start to have problems, And I don't know that we want to go down that road. That's a pretty complicated road to go down. So yeah. Yep. All right, so Kubernetes applications, resource data, repo. We're not going to do any NoSQL, no. Well, you don't need a database here. Yeah, this is just a bunch of YAML files. It's just a manifest, actually. As soon as you add a database, then you have to support it, and then people have to deal with it, and then they have to run an application. And the goal here is to create a convention, not more software, and then let people work with that convention however they want to. I'm really hesitant to add more software. Because we don't need that. That's kind of the problem. Helm is trying to do something it shouldn't, and it's failing miserably. So the complexity and should this is a tough one, because I don't know how we're going to do the CI/CD for this thing. So let's say, for example, we have an application that requires node feature discovery, and at whatever version, and then we upgrade node feature discovery, but we've hard coded a specific dependency. Well, that's what they're trying to do with the greater than thing. It's like, okay, well, yeah, any of these other things, because it assumes backward compatibility, and if you're using Sunver, you're kind of promising backward compatibility unless you change the major number. So I feel like we could maybe get away with the greater than thing, but why are we tracking the dependency in the first place? So let's say I'm an admin and I have 25, 26 applications in my environment, and I need to upgrade one of them because there's a security flaw that I found out. And I need to know how that's going to affect all the other applications in the cluster. I just realized that it doesn't even cover the applications that you're not aware of. So in an environment like ours, where there is a core Kubernetes team that manages the whole cluster or several clusters, and the applications that are common to those clusters, such as, Elasticsearch, Tecton, Argo, Istio. These things that are technically not Kubernetes, but you really are in some environments. They're kind of standard install things. So like SSH, right? SSH technically isn't Linux, but you pretty much install it on all, not always, but so even if I create a system for tracking all of that stuff, the purpose for putting a lot of that stuff in, Elasticsearch comes to mind, Grafana, is so that people can leverage that infrastructure for their own applications. And you might find a reason that needs to be updated, and you might look through your manifest and say, oh, look, nothing in our manifest is conflicting with this, so we can just go ahead and update it. But that would be a mistake, because obviously you would break a bunch of people in the user application space that you don't control, that you support. They're your customers. So how do you do that? What do you do? Do you say, look, we're thinking about upgrading Domino. Please check to make sure that nothing's going to break when we do this. And we're going to get ready and go. Here we go. And then we have some sort of backup method. The reason I'm diving into this kind of thought pattern here is because the inclusion of a version dependency or a dependency at all in the metadata is somewhat, at best, is simplistic. And at worst is misleading. Because if I put a dependency line in here, people will look at it and they'll go, oh, this has a dependency on this version over here or any greater version, right? But it hasn't really been tested for any of those versions. And it only covers the stuff that I'm maintaining in my manifest. So somebody coming to the team who may not have, the scope of knowledge of all the people that are using things and have those dependencies would look at the manifest and go, and the dependencies in the manifest and go, oh, if I update this, it's not going to hurt anybody. And so I think it's more important that we leave out dependencies and we flag that up front so that people will ask the question, well, are there any dependencies here? I feel like if we put dependencies listed here, first of all, that's not going to be kept up to date. It's not going to be maintained, and there's going to be other dependencies added in over time. And people think, oh, hey, we covered all our dependencies, and then boom, you get screwed. So it's actually, I think it's better to not even lie to them, to not even mislead them or falsify their expectation by saying, hey, these are all the dependencies you need to worry about. And not only that, here's the versions you need to look at. We need to say in kind of rhetorical way, there are dependencies, make sure you cover them all. And then every time you go to do an upgrade, you should reevaluate at that moment what those dependencies are, fresh. And you guys could say that, hey, well, this is the last time we did this. This is where our dependencies were. That might have changed since then. Go make sure you haven't updated any of them. But I think not having them listed at all is going to force people to re-examine all their old dependencies as well, which is going to do that whole go import thing. It's like you may have thought you have a dependency on something else and that thing's completely gone now. So you probably need to remove it, which means that you need to reevaluate every dependency every time you make any change, every time. And listing dependencies, I think, would mislead people into thinking that they've got that covered. So I'm going to leave them out. That's quite a long-winded justification for that, but I'm going to put why no dependencies. Dependencies are complex and should be evaluated anew for every committed change to any k8sapp. Listing dependencies in the metadata could lead to false expectations and rather than forcing the evaluation each time. Yeah, this is not a build system. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. This is not a build system. It's certain Helm doesn't have any fucking clue about dependency management. It doesn't have anything. You think it would at least have that if it's going to call itself a package manager, for God's sake. Let me add that to the list. It doesn't do any dependency tracking. No. I'm going to find my set on that and slam it even more. That's a package manager. How's it going, Coders? No green screen. Man, you haven't been here in a while. I haven't done green screen for, God, 2 weeks now. Yeah, I'm done with the green screen permanently. I'm doing it's other stuff. Hell, watch it. I'm gonna just prove this. Yeah. Helm dependency. Lots changed. I'm doing a race tomorrow morning. And lots of IRL streams too. Manager charts dependencies. Helm chart sources dependencies in charts, which declares dependencies. Dependencies command operate makes it easy to synchronize. So apparently Helm does have dependencies. I've never installed a chart that has them though. Bob the Builder. Yes. Well, that's actually that you're a kind of GitOps person, like way in advance. People call that GitOps now. So much of this stuff is getting invented, and we were like doing it 20 years ago. It just didn't have a name. Those automations, like you're talking about right there. You did GitOps with CVS. That's funny. Dependency build, rebuild the charts directory based on list of dependencies for a given chart. Oh my God, that's so terrifying. The fact that people are using dependencies to chart. Oh my God. I guess it has it, so I can't say it doesn't, but still, I would never do that. We need to really start getting people in the Kubernetes administration space to think like developers. Yeah. I think we need, that's like a real core requirement to get any kind of, I think, wait, how is this full screen and this is still here? Why is this here? I must have clicked wrong. Yeah, Linux and Solaris, yes. All right, so we're almost done. I've got a half an hour here. Repo, maintainers, primary contacts with name, email, and URL. Actually, no, we should probably do Slack. I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah. Name, email, URL, Slack. That's actually really important. So if something goes down, these are people to contact. Origin. Okay, so the origin is URL, version, and sources. All right, so origin, I mean, I don't know if we should call it dependencies or built from or whatever, you know? Aggregations, aggregate, it's an aggregate. Those are kind of requirements, right? Dependencies. I don't know. What's it called? Pedigree, origin. I don't know what to call this. There's a name for this. I saw another schema. They had a name for it. And I cannot remember the name. We need more than one though, because some stuff's going to be the combination of multiple sources. You know. I mean, we could put from. We could put composes. What does compose mean? To produce music to be formed from various things. All right, let's do that. Composition. So, and then we'll make multiple things. Name. I guess we could have it be Z2JH. Title 0 to Jupyter Hub. Version sources. All right, I think that'll work. The reason for this is because now Z2JH can be like a directory. We could actually do type helm. Yeah. So like if we're squishing stuff, we could do that. I think this is good. We can move helm to Z2JH. And yeah. And now you know about it by just reading here. You can say this is what it's composed of. I mean, you could have type helm, you could have type get, where you pull it down. You know, we could have different types. Yeah, I feel a nice convention coming out of this. This is kind of nice. Origin. We say composition. List of sources. including Helm, charts, other repos, etc. So yeah, maintainers.name. Okay. So, yep. Composition dot name, unique, what? Because I want it to be highlighted. This backtick. It'll get rendered. I'll show you. Unique name within this k8sapp repo. Type. All right. Composition.type of Helm get I guess that's it. So, yep. Am I teaching you? Nice. That's why I'm doing this. It's surprising how much you can learn just from watching somebody else do stuff. And I do it all the time. So, title. Composition.title. I'm writing all of this in common mark, by the way. It's a markdown syntax that everybody should learn. 70 Unicode characters describing descriptive title. Title type URL composition.url primary source of information about. Okay. I don't know if we could call it composition. I think we should call it something else. I think we could say depends or uses or requires. It should be requires or depends. I can't remember. There's a URL. There's a very specific meaning for each of those words. A dependency, one of them means that it can exist without the other. I need to go look at my dia diagrams. Dia. Give me a sec here. My dia diagram, my UML diagrams. I got to go look at my UML diagrams for a second. Create new diagram. UML. Give me a dependency graph. Where's my class diagram? Here we go. Oh, it's package diagram. Damn it. All right. So, welding inspectors. Oh boy. So, yeah, no, we want. See, there's different associations. There's extends, use. See, a use dependency means they both exist without each other. And these are aggregations and composition. So we're going to use a composition, but there's actually a word for that. I can't remember it. It's not uses though. It's not use. It's it actually is sort of a generalization of an extension, like a class extension. No, it's composes. It's requires. Let's see, requires. I don't know. Let me go try to look at one the thing. UML requires. I've got 10 minutes versus depends versus uses. UML dependency is directed. Client dependency, UML required interface versus interface realization. Dependencies and associations. Let's look at these. Yes. With association of generalization, teaches, taught, option, blah, blah, blah. Aggregation was supposed to say, okay, I get it. And we've just been, dependencies UML. A depends on B. This needs to change a bit stronger. What does it says in? I think it's includes. Includes. Duh. Includes, of course. Includes. Yeah. So if you have more than one thing and you're putting them together like that, that's a big deal. It's includes. It's definitely includes. I can't believe I missed that. So it's not composition. We'll say includes. Of sources, including list of sources composed into k8sapp. Includes comp change u oopsie change word includes. There we go. Includes primary, includes version, semantic version as indicated by source sources. One or more sources that contain the composed include. All right. I think I got it. We're going to got 6 minutes to spare. Yep. Nice. Okay. So that's all documented. No, we don't need dependency tracking. We got includes now. So that can go away. Yep. This is what? This is the manifest schema. We should say repo should contain containing the following metadata. Yeah. And can pull the reason for the individual command application for specific prefixes. And then application. Okay, there we go. And then we say this. We could say And then we could say, we kind of need a separate thing here. We should call this to document. Right. Let's change this. Let's change this to Kate's repo, get repo metadata. Don't use Helm. Then into a single okay. Having consistent metadata in each k8sapp Git repo allows the consolidation of this data later into a master manifest used to regularly check for version updates and such. Each Git repo should begin with a specific prefix. Each should containing the following metadata. All right. That's all good. Yep. And then we need to make a new one. I need to make a new one. What time is it? 3 minutes. I gotta get logged in. I can work on this while we're logged into the other stuff, but I'm gonna have to drop right now because I have a meeting. Talk to y'all soon. I won't work on this too much more without y'all being here, but I'll be back after this. Bye.